Hello everybody, how's it going? We've got a new limited series featuring Lotus Evija. So this is not, I don't want to say it's a rerun because it's not really a flashback or anything like that, but it is an older car at this point in the game. So this is sort of a second time we're having a limited series or limited time series. So there are a couple of things to keep in mind when that happens. Number one, the PR requirement this time around is going to be a little bit higher than, let's say, when we first had the special event featuring this car. So this time around, PR requirement to complete this series is going to be 97.6, which is 1.9 PR point higher than the last time we ran through this. And because it's an electric car, 3 upgrades across the board didn't work in the first place, because there are only 6 categories, and they, fire monkeys, they need to get their income in, right? So in the past, we had to get we had to max out body and brakes. I think that was the way we won this car in the past run, and the other remaining 4 categories, you had to get 3 upgrades across the board, right? So basically the categories that's not dead end, right? And last time it was like 620 gold was the cost to meet the PR requirement last time. This time around, however, it's gonna be a little bit pricier because, as I said, PR requirement's been bumped up, and that means now you have to max out a couple of other categories, including suspension and tires and wheels. Right, so you can leave engine and drivetrain at 3 upgrades, but the remaining 4 categories, body, suspension, brakes, and tires and wheels, you need to max out those 4 categories, and that's gonna cost you some 910 gold. Yeah, that is one of the most expensive limited time series or limited series that I've seen in a while. I mean, last time it wasn't that cheap either, but this time they really are coming after your gold. As it is still, I mean, in order to get the 1.9 PR higher than the last time we ran through, basically we have to spend 290 more gold if you didn't upgrade since you won this car last time. And the rewards, of course, is less than the last time. So last time we ran through, they paid us 100 gold plus the car, right? This time they're paying us half of that. I mean, we still, if you don't own the car, you get the whole car. You don't get just half the car, but you get 50 gold. I know, but you still win some victory points, 5,250 victory points, right? As you can see here. So, depending on where you are, in my case, if I add another like 5,000 victory points, that brings my total points to like 28,000. So that's I guess I would be making 60 more gold. So once again, depending on your situation, in a way you are getting your reward, I guess. So, but it kind of depends on how many other events you've completed in this round. So, yeah. So with that being said, let's check into the series and find out what's up this time around, right? So 7 days. If you already own the car, the 7 days really doesn't mean anything, because the series will still be available. The difference generally is, if you don't own the car, the event basically gets locked. You have to buy the car to unlock the series to complete it, unless you finish within that first 7 days. So, but if you already own the car, the series unlocked. So it just becomes another series in the game. Upon completing a first event, like winning a trophy, right? Unlocks or triggers the 24 hours of instant upgrades and instant service on this car. So that's kind of nice. So if you already own this car, that's really the offer to take advantage of and see if you can make some progress in the game, right? The game or the car is featured in just really 2 series. Now, including this limited series, I guess there are 3 series in the game that you can run with this car. So obviously this limited series that, you know, pays out 50 gold and some victory points and racing dollars. And then you have the bonus series, past, present, and future, which you can find in the legends section of the game. And that series pays out 79 gold total. And because it's a bonus series, you need to own the other cars, Koenigsegg Riera and Pagani Huayra BC. Both are Riera. If you've been playing for a while, that was a car you were able to win for free. Huayra BC Motor Fiesta 2, I believe, was the special event, difficult event. But you know, I mean, those events not really in this game anymore, is it now? I don't think. Unless it was like flashback in one of the rounds of the current season. Maybe I need to check into that. Anyway, and the main car being Lotus Evija, which is the only car that can 100% that series with a PR requirement of 98.6. So even after completing this limited series with a PR, what was the PR requirement again? It's like 97.6. It's not enough to 100% complete the series. So if you want to go ahead and complete this, the actual bonus series of cars featured in, not only do you have to own the other 2 cars, but you also need to put more upgrades on this car, spend a grand total of like 1,085 gold. So that's 175 more gold after you put enough upgrades to complete this limited series, right? So you can gain, I guess the final like 100% completion reward is 33 gold in that bonus series. So that's what you get. I do have series overview and playthrough of that bonus series, so I'll put the link to that video or playlist on my channel in the description box below, so you guys can check that out too. And then the last series the cars featured in is, of course, an exclusive series, which you have to, price of entry is you have to fully max out the car. PR 99.4 is where it maxes out, I believe. And the cost is 1,485 gold. Yeah, that is 575 more gold than the limited series cost, and 400 gold more than the bonus series 100% completion PR. So, and then if you're keeping track of the racing dollars, it'll cost you some 3.6 million and change. Anyway, so those are some information related to this car and the series. So let's see. Lotus Evija Limited Series earn the car by 100% completing the series. There's a bar of what hypercars can be with an unbelievable 2,000 horsepower. The Evija exemplifies the extraordinary potential of electric powertrains. Right, this car is like 500 horsepower per wheel, I think. I know, per wheel. Who does that? Well, if it's an electric car, that's what you do. You put the individual motor per car, then you can have that kind of power, I guess. So anyway, here is the breakdown of whopping 50 gold and 5,250 victory points, broken down into 25% completion increment. So first 25% completion rewards you 750 victory points, 5 gold, 25,000 racing dollars. And in order to achieve that, you need to get through tier 4. Right, so here, let's get it all done. That's the total rewards, of course, and that will get me up to 28,250. But here we go. So tier 4 requires PR 88.6. As you can see, it triggers, you know, like completing a event. I completed the whole thing with, I just bought my way through. Triggers that full day, 24 hours, right? So that's that. 88.6, as you can see, is a PR requirement for that 25% completion reward. And oh, I guess you cannot see it anymore. I'll tell you, 50% completion gets you 1,000 victory points and 10 gold, plus 50,000 racing dollars. And in order to do that, you need to win 2 gold trophies in tier 8, which means you gotta get through tier 7 cup, which requires PR 91.2, and then 75% completion, which will pay out additional 1,500 victory points, 15 gold, and 75,000 racing dollars. That requires you to win a single gold trophy in tier 12. So that means you gotta get through tier 11 cup, which requires PRs 94.3. And then, so across the board, PR requirement is slightly higher than the last time we went through this limited time series for this car, right? I'll have the link to that video playthrough too, so if you guys want to, for comparison's sake, want to check that out, the link will be in the description box below. Anyway, and then the final tier 15, just to confirm, PR 97.6 required, which will, by the way, pay out 2,000 victory points, 20 gold, and 100,000 racing dollars. So racing dollar reward is same as the last time, but the gold reward's been chopped down in half, unless you can convert your victory points into gold rewards. Then obviously you get that back one way or another, right? So, all right. Now, this upgrade status, the car still does have 28 upgrades available, even though there are only 6 categories. No exhaust, obviously, because it's electric car. And mine is fully upgraded, as you can see, because they offered us upgrade discount on this car in the past. Now, in order to complete this limited series, as I mentioned earlier, we'll just take a look at it while we're looking at the upgrade screen here. 3 upgrades on engine, 3 on drivetrain. You would have to max out body all 5 upgrades. And suspension, you also need to max out. And then the brakes, also you need to get all 5. And then tires and wheels, there are 4 upgrades and you need to get all of them. So like categories with 5 upgrades total, the odd number total upgrades, the last one is racing dollar upgrades. So, you know, by getting the stage 4 or tier 4 upgrade, you're purchasing kind of 2 upgrades for the cost. Unless you're really tight on racing dollars once again, then you need to race more. Yeah, there's no way around it. So that's that. And then if you want to meet the PR requirement for the bonus series, you cannot get exactly 98.6 that they require for the cheapest cost. It'll end up being 98.8, which is, you know, fine. And in order to do that, obviously you need to get pretty much every upgrade available on this car except for the very last engine upgrade, the stage 6 upgrade, which is whopping 400 gold by itself. So unless you are planning on unlocking the exclusive series, at least you can spare yourself 400 gold in that final upgrade. I know, that car's expensive. Anyway, so that is some information regarding the car, PR requirement, cost. And for the remainder of the video, I'll just kind of take a look at each tier and we'll talk about it. Alright, so tier 1, we got Autocross at the Hockenheim, the other German venue. Grand Prix, night race. Speed record at Silverstone Grand Prix, so that's a full lap. And then the tier 1 cup is at Dubai Grand Prix, 2 laps. Are we having one of those longer run limited series here? I mean, starting with a 2-lap Grand Prix circuit race is not exactly a short one, right? Anyway, by that I mean the 24-hour instant service may just come in clutch if you can take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Because longer races just translates to more servicing. So all right. Of course, if you already own this car, then really there is no rush to complete this. You know what I mean? The series is kind of available for you, at least indefinitely at the moment. So yeah, you can finish it at any point. I have some like round 2 limited series that I have not completed that still the rewards are out there. I just need to get through it because I already own car, featured in this series. Anyway, tier 2, we got Hunter at Porsche Test Track long on-road circuits, so that's a full lap. You got a Speed Snap at Daytona Road Course, and the Cup for tier 2 at the Brickyard Road Course. And that's going to be 3 laps, PR 86.4 required. So obviously if you're starting from a blank slate, so to speak, you'll need some upgrades. Alright, tier 3, we got Elimination at Suzuka Grand Prix, Endurance at Nürburgring Grand Prix, and the Cup at Berlin. Formula E circuit, 3 laps, so that is, I would say, the shortest one so far, right? Although it's very, it's a city circuit, so you cannot really go very fast. 87.6 is the PR requirement for that. And moving on, tier 4, we got speed record at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix, so that's a full lap. Head-to-head at Bugatti circuit, single lapper. And the cup for the 25% completion will take place at Mount Panorama, 2 laps, PR 88.6 required. Alright, moving on, tier 5, we got Autocross at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix, Speed Snap at Monza Road Course, and the Cup at Laguna Seca, 4 laps, PR 89.5 required. And tier 6, we got Hunter at Catalonia Grand Prix, Endurance at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course, and Cup at Melbourne, 4 laps, PR 90.4 required. Continuing on, tier 7, we got Elimination at Nürburgring Grand Prix, Speed Snap at Berlin, Tempelhof Airport Formula E circuit, and the tier 7 cup, which is the one that's you need to complete in order to claim the 50% completion reward, takes place at Daytona Motorcycle Course, 3 laps, PR 91.2 required. So far I would say every tier medium length, nothing terribly lengthy but nothing terribly short either, right? So all right, more evenly spread. Okay, so that gets us to the halfway point, tier 8. We got Hunter at Hockenheim Grand Prix, so that's a full lap. Head-to-head at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, another single lap head-to-head. And then the cup for tier 8 takes place at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix circuit, 3 laps, PR 92 required. Tier 9, we got Endurance at Laguna Seca, Speed Snap at Nürburgring Grand Prix, and the cup at Silverstone Bridge Grand Prix circuit, 3 laps, PR 92.7 required. So yeah, it's getting longer. Right now it's a 3-lap Grand Prix cup. Tier 10, Autocross at Melbourne, head-to-head at Daytona Road Course, single lapper, and the cup at Monza Road Course, and it's going to be yet another 3-lap cup. PR 93.5 is required. Tier 11, we got Endurance at Catalonia Grand Prix, Speed Snap at Dubai Grand Prix, and Cup at Porsche Test Track, long on-road circuit, slightly shorter than most Grand Prix circuit. So we get 4 laps for that one, PR 94.3 required, which is what's needed, once again, for that 75% completion reward. Gets us to the tier 12, we got Elimination at Bathurst Circuit, Mount Panorama, Autocross at Spa, and then Cup for tier 12 taking place at Austria's Red Bull Ring Grand Prix, 4 laps. Once again, not as lengthy for a Grand Prix circuit. So we get 4 laps. PR 95.1 required there. Continuing on, tier 13, we got speed record at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix circuit. Head-to-head another one, this one at Dubai International, another single lapper. And then we got the 24-hour circuit cup, 2 laps, PR 95.9 required. I would say that one's like equivalent of like 4.5 laps or 5 laps at your typical Grand Prix circuits, just because obviously it's the longest circuit in the game at the moment. All right, tier 14, Elimination at Silverstone Grand Prix, Endurance at Melbourne. They like to pair those two, don't they? Elimination and Endurance, like both events kind of one's time based, the other one's distance based, so the circuit does not really make that much of a difference in terms of how much of the service bars those races will take off, right? Yeah, that's what goes through my head when I'm looking at these tiers. And then Cup for tier 14 takes place at Spa, 3 laps, PR 96.7 required. So that's of course not quite as long as the 24-hour circuit, Le Mans circuit, but still one of the longer circuits. And we got 3 laps to do it. And then that takes us to the final tier, tier 15. We got Autocross at Porsche Test Track, long on-road circuit, Hunter at Dubai Grand Prix, so that's a full lap. And the final cup as Suzuka Grand Prix, one of the lengthier Grand Prix circuits. And we got 4 laps to do it. And as we checked out earlier, PR 97.6 is what's required, which will, once again, just to recap, cost you some 910 gold if you are starting from no upgrade and trying to win this car. By the way, the car is worth 1100 gold. If you take advantage of showcase discount in the bonus series, you can get it for 880 gold. Still very pricey. So yeah, one of the more expensive cars in the game, and the opportunity to win it is still gonna cost you a bit. So anyway, hopefully you guys got some useful information from this video, and I'll probably be, play through and making my way through. So I'll, as always, be posting those playthrough videos as well. But anyway, for now, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.